So let's say you just tried flashing the firmware on your brand new Monoprice Mini Delta 3D printer, and now all of the motors are running backwards. And I'll demonstrate it to you, but to test it out yourself, you don't want the effector starting at the top, because you don't want to trigger the home sensors right from the get-go. So I'm going to move it about right center there. I'm going to turn it on just to demonstrate what it looks like. I'm going to keep my finger on this power button because I don't want my build plate to get destroyed. That's the home button. It's moving down. That ain't no good. Now, if you're on stock firmware, you can fix this just with some Gcode settings, and I'll show you how to send that. I've got this printer hooked up on Octoprint, so I can do it on my smartphone, but you can use Printerface or Repeater or whatever else. I'll show you something different from Marlin, because there's a good chance that's why you're trying to flash your firmware in the first place. So I've got it back on. I'm going to pull my smartphone up here and connect to Octoprint. So I'm going to send that in Octoprint. Send M562 XYZE. Now I'm going to send M500 to save that. And what that's doing is it's reversing all the directions of the motor in the firmware. And if you can't read that, I'll put those numbers in the video description. But you don't want to try homing again just yet, because I tried that before I recorded this video and it didn't work out. So I'm going to turn the printer off first. Wait a couple of seconds. Now I'm going to turn it back on. Now I'm going to try homing, and it works now. So now I'll show you a hardware way of fixing it after I reposition the camera. So, if your whole reason for changing the firmware was to go to Marlin for MPMD, version 1.3.3 does not yet have a software fix for this problem, so you're going to have to use a hardware fix. You could just reverse the polarity of the wires, and there are other videos on that. I'll put a link in the description, but it's much easier just to change the connectors around on the mainboard. Well, not even change them, just take them off and put them back on backwards. So I'll try to demonstrate what I'm talking about. These 4 motor connectors here are actually not stuck on by any glue or anything or any solder. You can just pull those off. You just have to be real careful not to mess with any of the leads there. Just going to grab on one side at a time with these pliers, pull a bit, let off, come over to this other side, and pull a bit over there, let off. Now I'm going to pull a bit there. Oh, my phone flashlight went off. Well, maybe you can see better now anyway. So back to the other side, pull. It's getting there. Pull. Pull. There. It's off. So now you can see the metal connectors are still on the main board, if you can see with my crappy camera. And now I'm just going to take this same plug and I'm going to put it back on, but facing in the other direction. So that way the polarity of the motors will be reversed when we go to print. There, it's just as simple as me pushing it back on. And just do that to the other 3 and you should be good to go.